go.
Look, I agree with you, Marcus, there. Pancakes are delicious, and I don't think that was the focus of the question, though.
Once I heard that he didn't like pancakes, I saw red. That's it.
There's way worse things that he did. He left his girlfriend on a mountaintop when a mountain lion could have taken her out. You know what I mean? So he could just watch the game. So, yeah. I guess him dissing pancakes is a bad thing, right?
Well, look, it was always going downhill from the pancakes. Let's be real.
Yeah, look, I'm all for getting people to be involved in some sort of an activity. Like as a couple, doing something like that is like a nice fun thing. But when you take the fun out of it by basically bickering or by, you know, having a higher expectation of someone, you're not going to have a good time. I think you need to, if you're trying to get someone to get involved in something that you like to do, maybe make it more accessible for them as like a bridging, you know, task. Maybe don't go on such a terrible hike and make it a little bit shorter. Maybe make sure you've got water for them. Sort of accommodate for them a bit better.
The water thing is really funny that he brings that up as like that's a fault from her asking for water. He's got this weird mentality of like water is for winners, like type of thing. It's like why are you like preventing your girl from being hydrated? It's such a weird hill to die on.
She said she was getting lightheaded and wanted some water, whatever that is. Jesus, what a weird person.
Yeah.
I went to Yosemite and we went to the upper Yosemite Falls and only had basically like a 500 ml bottle of water, quickly went through it and didn't have enough water and was at the point where like, do we go back or do we keep going at the top? I feel like we're getting close to the top, and water is the one thing you want to have plenty of when you're going on a hike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this guy's not giving it to her. It's weird.
Yes.
There's part of me where I can see where he's coming from in that like my girlfriend is a mad runner. And if she was planning to like get back to watch something that she was looking forward to, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I want to come for you on your run. And I slowed her down. And she missed the game because of that. Like, I think that's on me. If she gave me ample warning that maybe I won't keep up. But this guy is like, I feel like he's talking down about his missus from the get-go, from eating pancakes to wanting water to like everything. The fact that he left her on top of the mountain, like this feels like the origin story for the naming of Mount Disappointment in Victoria. Like this is how it probably got its name because of these two together. I don't think he has a leg to stand on. Like I think he was just too much of a jerk in this situation.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree with you on all of those. I feel like she wanted to be a part of his hobby, and I think you touched on it, Tom. It's one of those things in a couple that you want to find hobbies that you guys can share together, and she's actually genuinely interested in trying to do something that you wanted to do. Granted, it is probably a bad time. You wanted to watch this game, but I'm almost certain that game would be on replay somewhere. It's not nearly worth having a huge blowout because of it, just so you can watch the game live. I mean, I've watched plenty of things on replay without ignoring all the scores. Like you could have got home, watched the game fine. You would have kept her happy, and then you could have talked about it afterwards. Say, hey, next time if you want to do that, give me ample warning so we can work it out or something like that. We can work a time that's not around the game so we can go together and enjoy it better.
Plenty of people do this sort of stuff with things like English Premier League, which is, you know, a time difference. And instead of waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and watching soccer, you will, you know, wake up maybe at 6 and watch it then and watch the replay just before then. So I'm all for that. I think that's definitely make it something, you know, that's what your task is to do for the day. It's understandable if you have other plans that you need to get to, but something as sort of trivial as a sports game, I don't think you should be like, peace out and then run and leave her behind.
It was exactly, especially when climbing a mountain like takes skill. Like it's not just something that everybody's good at doing. So it's pretty dangerous. I was curious about because she made it down by the fourth quarter, right? So when I read this question, I'm like, I wonder how long a average NFL telecast goes for.
Yeah.
So they apparently go for about 3 hours. So it took her almost 3 hours to get down. So I feel bad for her that he was like sitting in his car enjoying the football while she had to make like a snake and roll down this hill to get back to him. Like what an asshole. And then he has the gall when she walks in the car door to be like, it's the fourth quarter, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, like what the fuck? He's like, what's the matter? Yeah. I was imagining him like when she opens the door and she's angry. He's like, why are you angry? What's the Matterhorn? He's like trying mountain humor on her. And she's like,
very good.
She's like, nah, it's not. too soon.
I almost feel like, how did he make it down so quick? He was either running full pelt sprint down a mountain, or he was always planning to ditch her there, and he just had like a parachute with him, and he base jumped off the top
Up
and
the
made it back
side.
to the car park safely. I think that's what he was planning to do all along, and he was never gonna. He was always gonna just jump off that mountain.
Do you think if a partner did this to you, if they are a skilled mountain climber and then they ditched you, left you on the peak and went to go watch a game, do you think you could come back from that? Do you think you would be too mad?
I would definitely be fuming. Would I come back from it? Probably. I'd probably try and work it out, especially if you live together. Like, there's certain levels of relationship. If you were like, within the first 3 months of it and they do that, you're like, yeah, I'm not sticking around for this. But I would be fuming if my partner, like, we went up a hill together and then they decided, look, you're going too slow. I'm just going to meet you at the bottom. And it took me 3 hours to get there.
I think the biggest part that I would be mad about is the fact that was their idea. They wanted to do it, and that's me trying to get involved with them. And then you just like sort of give me a hard time for my effort, or my like, you're not happy with the level of it. I think that's the most disrespectful thing, is like, I'm trying to be a part of your mountain climbing world. And, no matter, Horn, what I do, you're upset with me. If I can bring in the pun
both you guys spoke about being really mad at your partner. Do you think you would be mad enough to kill a man, Jaro? Oh boy,
that's good, Damien, because I've been trying to think of one about Yosemite for a long time now, and I'm glad that you made the mistake of trying on something else.
Yeah. Oh boy, that when I said that went down like a lead balloon. That did not feel good. So, Tom, feel free to wrap up the show. Let's just wrap things up.
Damien, it's okay. You make mistakes. All you can say is whatever. Wrist.
Oh boy.
Yep, there we go. I did a worse job. You're welcome.
I feel like I got to throw in a mountain, but the only mountain I know is Kosciuszko. What the fuck can you do with Kosciuszko?
Nothing rhymes with Kosciuszko.
No.
I think we can sum this up with saying, when climbing a mountain in the future with your girlfriend, pack a better attitude. I think that sums it up, right?
That's a nice way of putting it.
Give us some water too, please. Bring us some water, and don't directly apply it to your back, because apparently that will cause rashes. Is that right, Damien?
Yeah.
I can confirm. I'm scratching up a storm right now.
All right, I guess we'll just leave it there for Breakfast of Champions, and let's leave it there for the podcast. That's all the question time we have. But great questions brought to the table, and a great rendition of Fast and the Curious, Marcus. We'll see if we ever do catch up to Fast and the Furious series once they get to the space one. We might need to stop and wait for them to start releasing more subsequent movies too. I think
more movies. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think so.
This was a long one, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say we've run a little bit longer this time, but I guess we didn't have an episode last week, so we apologise for that one, and we've probably made up for it with a couple extra minutes there for you. But look, we're just doing what we can. We're just doing what we can here.
Yeah, during these tough times.
If you do want to get in touch with us, you can email us at tqhpodcast@gmail.com if you just want to say hi, or if you've got a question of your own, please feel free to send it there, and we'll do our best to say hi or answer back, as we like to do. But unless there's anything else to add, boys, that is all the time we have for the show. Thank you to everyone out there for listening. Thank you, of course, to Marcus.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you to Damien.
Mountains aren't just funny, Tom. They're hill areas.
All right, and as we end every episode, Marcus.
They're hill areas.
Oh, Jesus.
Please, can you mute him, Tom? Like that? Can we just cut him out in the last bit?
I'll cut him from now.
It's funny because it sounds like hilarious.
Please, Marcus.
Stay curious.
Guys?
Thank you again for listening. If you want to get in touch with us and ask us a question of your own, you can email us at tqhpodcast@gmail.com.
That email again, Tom.
Is tqhpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on what, Marcus?
We're on Twitter. We're also on Facebook.
At TQH Podcast. You can find us there. And we are also on, Damien.
Wherever you can get a podcast, that is where the TQH Podcast is. Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, you name it, we're on there.
And if you head over to iTunes, rate, subscribe, and leave a review, that would be fantastic. 5 stars if you think we deserve it. Thanks for listening.